welcome back to the channel. This is the 50 Plus Rider. And this week, or this episode if you like, I sat down with Matt from RideSafe, a local instructor company here that he started a few years back. And we go through the little bit of the process, a little bit about him and the other instructors, and also a little bit what the future might bring. So hope you enjoy. So start about yourself, privately, background, motorcycle related, of course.
Okay. So I started riding at quite a young age. So about 7, maybe even a little bit early, I started with motocross. I got a little 50cc motorbike and kind of boomed from there. So I moved up, stayed with the motocross bikes for a couple of years, and then had a bit of a break, to be fair. I then passed my CVT at 16, started road riding, and then ultimately my main background from riding motorbikes is through the police.
Tell us more about the police part.
So I joined the traffic department and I specialised quite early on in police motorcycles. And all my training has been in the UK, so I've done a 3-week standard course and then I moved on to a 3-week advanced course. So at the moment, I'm one of the more advanced police officers on the Isle of Man, certainly for riding motorbikes. But from that side of things, RideSafe was kind of born.
Okay.
So I dual hat in the police, whereas I'm a collision investigator. So as you can imagine, I would go to some not very nice things, that involve motorbikes. And I've seen all sorts of broad spectrum. And I kind of had the idea for RideSafe off the back of some of those collisions. If I could potentially make those riders a little bit safer on the road, I might be able to prevent people like me or other service agencies having to ultimately deal with that in the aftermath.
So preventive in a way?
Very preventive, yeah. So if I could tackle them very early on from day one on a motorbike, I could improve their skills the whole way through. Or that was the aim anyway, I'd say.
Well, let's go back a little bit. When was the idea, the concept that you talked about now, when did that roughly...
So that idea has been banded around, in my head anyway, for about 5 years or so.
Okay.
And then RideSafe boomed, 2022-ish.
Okay, 4 years ago.
About 4 years ago, it kind of started motion. And then I picked it up full time. So I was dueling to start with between the police and RideSafe. And I started off just doing the odd try-it session in a car park and then moved on to the odd lesson here and there. And I very quickly went through the motions of becoming a CVT instructor. Obviously with my background for advanced work, I can then deliver advanced courses to the public as well. So at the moment, we can offer everything. So if you've never sat on a motorbike before, and I know you've been through the process with us. So if you've never sat on a motorbike before, you can come down and try a go with us, all the way through to post-test advanced training, and everything in between. My next 2 instructors, so obviously it was me for quite a while. About 18 months was me solo trying to do everything, CVTs, lessons, try-it sessions, and it was a little bit too much. I was juggling quite a lot. So I advertised for a couple of instructors. And we had quite an intensive process. We had a lot of applicants come through, and I personally rode with most of them. So I took them all out and sort of see where their riding was at, to see if I could work with them and sort of develop them into what we need in an instructor. And through that process, we picked 2, which is Dave Cubbin and Simon Curtis. So if we talk briefly about them, I've known Dave for quite a while, former police officer as well. Again, that sort of service background, he's very methodical, very disciplined.
I know.
Yeah. Was Dave your instructor?
You
had everybody.
I've been lucky to have all of you.
Yes, you had all of it. A little bit of input from everyone. Yeah. And then Simon's ex-RAF, so he time served in the RAF, and then he's moved to the Isle of Man several years ago, and he's just had a passion for motorbikes. He's gone through his own advanced courses with IAM or equivalent in the UK. And Simon at the moment helps to deliver some of our advanced courses. So if I flip back to Dave covers try-it sessions. He also covers CVTs and lessons for us. And then Simon would deliver try-it sessions, CBTs, lessons, and advanced courses.
Yeah.
And then our third instructor, not including myself, our third instructor would be Simon Tyre. And Simon joined us probably 5-6 months after those two, just because we found the demand for lessons was still quite high, and we just couldn't juggle the CBTs with lessons, so we brought on another instructor. And Simon's brilliant. He's in hospitality for many, many years. He can talk to people very, very well, and he's just got a passion for bikes. So he specialises predominantly in test preparation. So he will do lessons after CBT.
For many of those who watch this on YouTube would think, of course, it's TT, it should be, but there isn't a big biking community on the island outside TT. So, but it's starting to increase quite a bit, isn't it?
I think that market's always going to be there. It's not massive for what you would expect the Isle of Man to be. I don't know why that is. There is some very core, die-hard motorcycle enthusiasts, but the market is not massive.
No.
There's enough, and hopefully that will see an increase. Certainly if we can keep delivering high standards, keep more people coming through test, that only will hopefully grow the more people that come through. And if we can kind of publicise it a little bit and try and offer some packages for people to come down and try it for free, or have a go for free, why not? It might encourage more people into the sport.
Right. As you know, I was a doubter that I was going to ride a bike myself, and fast forward after my first test lesson, 6 months later, I'm on the full license.
Exactly.
So I'm kind of I wouldn't say poster boy, because I never will be, or other reasons, but it shows that you never know.
You never know, and a lot of our clients, a lot of the people that come through us are very similar to you. They're not all 16 and 17-year-old young people. They are people who have had a bit of life and thought, I want to ride a bike and I've never done it before. Why not? I mean, the oldest person we had through was 79, and they just always wanted to ride a scooter, a Vespa, around the TT course, and why not?
Why not?
Why not? Yeah.
What's your definition of success?
For RideSafe, I think we can measure it if we are getting more people through test, we're having more customers come through. But generally, if we can improve road safety through, well, the name suggests it, RideSafe. And we touched on it earlier that, I mean, the general motto amongst motorcyclists is they will tell each other to ride safe, and hopefully we can instill that message into people that they become a safer rider. Safely doesn't always mean slow. So you can ride with some progress very safely. And hopefully we will give people the early skills to be able to ride safely on the roads. And ultimately, going back to why I started the company in the first place, hopefully we'll see that improvement at the other end of it. 2026 then, what it looks like for us, it's probably much the same, or certainly building on what we've got so far. Trying to build relationships. Obviously, we work very closely with Isle of Man Motorcycles. We base our lessons out of there, but also with some of the local retailers as well, Open Face Racer. We've done a little bit recently with WRWR for the women's relay. And we're just trying to build that nice... It's a small island, so I think if we can have a collaboration of partners working together to try and bring more people into our sport, into our sort of arena, it's only going to benefit the Isle of Man then, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
But yeah, very much the same for us. Just keep doing what we're doing. It takes a very long time to build a reputation, but it can be very easily broken.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we just keep our standard very high, keep delivering a quality product or quality service before we try and go too big.
Anything further in 2026? Events-wise,
we have on the cards, it's not been announced yet, but I'm happy to announce it now.
It's a world exclusive.
Depends on when this goes out, but International Women's Day is Sunday the 8th of March, and we plan to host our second Ladies' Day. So last year in the end of March, we ran a free event where we had, I think it was about 40 females through. And the idea is to try and give those people a taster on a motorbike. So a 20-minute ride on a motorbike for free. say, come down, you don't need any kit, we'll provide you with the kit. It's in a secure environment with one of our instructors to try and get more people into the sport, specifically females, because it is still quite a male-dominated sport, which hopefully with like WR are trying to promote. If we can get more females into the sport, again, brilliant. To be fair, off the back of last year's one, we have had a lot of people through lessons and test. I'm not sure, did your Jane come down to one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Well, yeah, that was my fault.
but it works, doesn't it? So ultimately, he's gone on to.
That wasn't my plan that it was going to work, but it did.
But people very similar. We've had lots of people come through and had a go that might not otherwise ride a motorbike.
Yeah.
But it's there on a plate and it doesn't cost you anything, so why not come down and have a go? With Honda being up here as well, we do run a specific Honda event, which is sponsored by Honda, which is more like a 2-day event where we have and that's open to anyone, not just females. That is open to everyone. But it's very similar. We run 2 days for free, and we just allow you to come down and have a go.
So you mentioned Jane, my wife.
Yeah.
She obviously went for the scooter.
Yes.
And she's still dead set on that. But would she be able to come in and try with the gear, for instance?
Of course she could. Yeah, of course she could. Yeah.
Okay.
We've got a chap doing tomorrow. He's in for a couple of hours tomorrow. He passed his CBT on an automatic, a scooter. Has ridden the scooter for a year, but now wants to have a go at manual bikes. So he's coming in tomorrow for a 2-hour session to learn how to use clutch and gears.
Yeah.
So just because you start off on a scooter doesn't limit you at all.
No.
There's so many options now that manual bikes, automatic bikes.
Yeah.
My instructor bike is a 750 automatic. So it certainly doesn't limit you at all nowadays.
Great. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you. Thank you, Dan.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. That chat, or these chats that I have now started doing with local businesses or people who have any affiliation whatsoever for me that I find interesting towards motorbikes, I guess it's part of my own experience of 2025 when I started taking interest in motorcycling and took my license, etc. So there'll be more of that coming up ahead as well. I'll be attending to a few events that's going to be here on the island in the next coming months. But more interestingly, this morning as I'm recording this Monday, it was nice getting out to the car to go to work. I felt the fresh smell of spring. I don't think it's too long, guys, before we can actually be on the road again, proper. Until next time, see ya.